Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today we're going to make a treat. We're going to make pumpkin pie leathers. Exactly. So I'm getting ready ahead of time to get ready for the holidays. And the holidays are both Sukkot, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. I know that's 3 instead of 2. But each one of these events is a chance to get together with family and friends and celebrate. Thanks for letting me share with you God's recipe for excellent health. And it always includes, 1, being confident in the kitchen, which is what we're going to do today. Confident with your health. I'm always eager to make sure you're getting as healthy as possible. But number 3 is the foundation of everything that we believe, is that God loves you with an everlasting love. He's the one true living God. And I hope you know him personally. Let's get started. So we're going to start with 2 cups of pureed pumpkin. Now, I make my own pureed pumpkin every fall season. I'll go and gather whatever pumpkins I can find. You want like the baking pie pumpkin, not the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. And I will cook them down, and I will have bags of these in my freezer just laid flat. I always put 2 cups in every bag. Now I've defrosted 1, so I have 2 cups of pureed pumpkin. If you're going to use canned pumpkin from the store, that's okay. Just yours is going to be a little bit thicker, because I still have a lot of water in mine. I drained off a lot, but I didn't get it all off. So 2 cups of pumpkin. I'm going to add to that 2 cups of homemade applesauce. If you buy store-bought, that's okay, but I'm using my own that I make homemade. Every September, October, I go and see where I can find the best apples, and then I gather usually 3 or 4 bushels, bring them home, and make all my applesauce for the whole year. I pretty much have my pots and everything cooking almost 24/7 until I get it all done. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use the pumpkin, we're going to use the apple, and then we're going to add to that our pumpkin pie seasonings. Now, I always mix these up ahead of time, and I just put it in one little spice jar, and I label it pumpkin pie spice. So I have that already mixed up in my little dish here, and I'm just going to sprinkle it into my pumpkin mix. So I'm using the Vitamix food processor, and it comes with this really cool platform that you could put it on so that it doesn't move all over the place. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, but it just has this nice platform. And so you have like a tri-blade inside. And so the tri-blade just does an excellent job of blending. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put, using my fun Fisky here, I'm going to put my pumpkin, my pureed pumpkin, into the food processor. There we go. And I'm going to add my 2 cups of applesauce. Again, my applesauce is going to have more liquid than what you get at the store, unless you buy kind of that really cheap brand of applesauce that's nothing but watered apples. Mine's chunky because I like chunky applesauce. Now, you've seen me use the immersion blender. So usually it's this handheld unit with this piece, and then you put it on, and I mix my sauces, my soups, everything. It's just so great. It's like your personal little blender, so you don't have to get out the big blender. So this is the attachment I'm going to use. I'm going to put this top right on top, and then I just snap my blender into the top, kind of lock it in. There we go. I heard it lock. And then I'm just going to process. Now, if you're impatient like me, I can just do #impatientcook. Then I always try to use the fastest speed possible. Sometimes it works for me, and sometimes it doesn't. All right, so there I have a perfect blend. Now, I'm using the London Sunshine dehydrator. I did a video on dehydrating about 1.5 years ago, and I used their commercial size dehydrator. Now, that's the bomb, and if you've got a big family, that's the one you want. But if you're a small family, and you don't dehydrate every day like I like to, then this smaller one that I have behind me is perfect. Now, it comes with these stainless steel trays. And I love this because the trays have this, they have the interlocking of the little membranes, and it's small enough that your food's not going to go through. But if you're going to use food that they also have these plastic mesh that you could put on top as well, just to make sure nothing goes through. But if you're doing a liquid like we're doing today, I'm using the silicone mat, and it's got an edge to it. So you can kind of see the edge, and that's going to hold our liquid in place. Okay, now I'm going to take my sauce and I'm going to put it on these mats, these silicone mats, and just get a nice even spread. I may have a little bit too much in this tray because my goal is to have really good leather strips to feed the kids. Okay, the adults too. Okay, we ended up making 3 trays, so I'm going to pop these in the dehydrator. I'm going to put them on about 120 degrees, and then I'm going to dehydrate probably, I'm going to start with 10 hours and see how they look at that time, and if I need to add more, I'll go ahead and add more time to it. Well, our pumpkin pie leathers are done. As you can see, I can take it right off of that tray, and then we have this silicone tray, and I can just peel it right off. This is totally delightful. And I can just, it's like, if you like playing with food, or you have kids or grandkids that like playing with food, they're going to love doing this. And we can just pull it off from there, and then I can just cut strips and roll them up, and then they are so ready to be stored, and you can save it for any celebration or any party. Now, what can you do with this? Yes, it's totally a treat as is, or you could wrap it around a cookie. You could make it between 2 cookies. You could put it on toast, but most importantly, I think just eating it as is and giving the kids a nice treat is what's most important. You totally need a sharp knife to just cut these strips, but you can just get you a good knife and just cut the strips, and then you can roll them right up. Once we have our strips, we can just roll those up, and then I'm just going to put them in some parchment paper in this bowl, and then I'm just going to have it sealed up nice and tight and ready. And there we go. So I'm just going to put these in my parchment paper, and they will be ready to go. Now, I'm sure if you wanted to get fancy, you could just open them back up and add a little bit of cream cheese in the middle and then roll it back up, and you would have the perfect appetizer. And everyone's going to wonder, wow, what is that? And how did you make that? And then you can say, well, I heard it at the Biblical Nutritionist YouTube channel. Or you could just say, you made it yourself. Well, there we have our pumpkin pie fruit lather. This is going to be the perfect treat for your family, and they're going to so enjoy it. Let me know what you think about the recipe after you make it down in the comments. And until next time, thank you for letting me share with you God's recipe for excellent health. Always includes using God's foods to create an amazing smorgasbord of goodness for your mind, your heart, and your cells. Thanks for watching.